Welcome, 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 one and all, to yet another episode of WhickTV. And today, we're going to cover a little bit of, it feels weird calling it drama slop. It is to an extent, but these are serious issues, serious allegations that have been made, serious real-world consequences for people, and potentially serious ramifications going forward for all involved. And so it's a little odd to call this drama slop, but it was inspired by, I guess, drama slop. So I don't know exactly what term to use here. All that said, today we're going to be going over the Fall of Counterpoints. I guess an alternative title you might want to use is Erebus's corruption of Horus and how it led to the Horus heresy. That's a deep cut for anyone who's familiar with 40K lore, but it is what it is. I guess just to kind of manage expectations, if you've been following this thing for the whole time, there's going to be very little new to you, right? If this is something that you've seen every single stream on this, very little is going to be revelatory, right? Though I think that the analysis that we're going to provide and the framing that we're going to provide might help elucidate some of the inconsistencies that you may be worried about or confused about. And I think we've put together a good document on this in the timeline. But I do want to just kind of set that as an expectation. Also, I want to make it clear that we are going to be going over the timeline of what happened, right? How it happened, and our views of why it happened. And we're going to be providing links, evidence, all these things. We're going to clean up the document a little, and then we're going to release it publicly so you all can view it at your leisure. Some of the links link to whole-ass live streams, and we're not going to watch 8 hours. We're just not going to do that for some of these events. But we are going to talk about them, and we're going to put these into perspective. Now, I couldn't do this on my own. There are people who were involved in portions of this that I simply was not and have perspectives that I simply don't. And so big shout out to my guest of honor tonight. North is live, who kind of helped really take the lead putting this together and was kind of like my catalyst, if you will, for doing this show. I wanted to initially, because I think that and I won't hide the ball here, I think what Counterpoints has done with regards to this situation is immoral. It is wrong. It is something that it has not only real-world implications for the people he reported, but this scene in general. And it sets a precedent that I think needs to be nipped in the bud, because these things, taking your internet beef with a streamer that you had a relationship with and bringing that to offline where you're calling the police, you're calling CPS. Like, I don't think you guys understand the dangers of doing that so flippantly when you have so little evidence and so little to go on. But we're going to go all over that. We're going to kind of get into it. But I want to give North a chance to introduce himself, kind of talk about his reasons for being here and his motivations, and kind of just set the stage in that way. So go ahead.
Hey, I'm North. I'm a Never Trump Republican, and I used to be, and I guess you could say I'm still slightly affiliated with in Connor's community, which was known as the COG at the time. And I am also someone who has been sort of involved in this drama. I've called him a retard. I have DM'd him about this. I've called him about this. I've watched all the live streams. I've had the displeasure of also interacting with many of the people who have tried to corrupt Connor, as it were, or tried to influence him. Mainly Doobie, which was a whole sad experience. Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting live stream, and I hope we can get into it, get into
I
the meat
hope
of
so.
everything.
I guess to start, and this might seem cucked to some of you, but I wanted to express a little sympathy and empathy for Counterpoints. I don't think you guys, you audience members, realize the immense amounts of pressure a content creator can come under in such situations. We are constantly being pressured by so many different forces, right? It's like a tug of war in many ways, right? That you have not only people we consider friends or at least are friendly with, coworkers, audience members that we trust, community members that we've known for years, all weighing in, pushing us to do what they think that we should do. And it's a constant struggle, even in the best of times, even without the context. And we're going to get into it, the context in which all of this has taken place. So I just wanted to kind of start the show by expressing empathy. And I know what it's like to be pressured and to try to be manipulated by people who do not have your best interest at heart and who want you to basically immolate yourself and immolate your credibility and immolate everything that you claim to have stand for in order to hurt another person, hurt one of their enemies. I know what that feels like. I know the tactics that they use. I know what they've done because they've tried to do it to me, and they've tried to do it to me for a long, long time in various phases and in various ways, but we're going to get into that, right? But all this to say, give the guy a little grace. Don't you call him a retard, that's fine. But there will be no brigading. There will be no harassing. There will be none of that. Do not do that. Do not engage in that behavior. I am simply saying this is a cautionary tale. This is what happens when you let your ego get the best of you and when you mire yourself in false narratives. And again, we're going to get into that. But yeah, that's how I wanted to kind of start the show and maybe have a little empathy for people, but you never know. Okay, cool. With that, North, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, let's go start this. I forget. Are you going to be sharing your screen?
Yeah, I'll share my.
Okay.
I'm not going to share the thing, but when we click the links, you'll tell me to click the link, and I'll share what we link, and we can watch it together, right?
Okay, so for the timeline of how one falls to the Snarkers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just again to frame this, this is the start. We're starting at when the ultimatum came down, right? Or at least Destiny was talking about the ultimatum of excluding himself from any communities, which were going to allow 𝙬𝙗𝙬 to be in voice chats and things like that, right?
Yeah.
I want to be very clear. This isn't the start of everything. But we don't have time to go over years and years and years of stuff. But this is a good beginning. It is not the beginning, but it is good a beginning. And I think it's a good place to start. Anyway, yeah, let's start on the ultimatum. So the ultimatum comes down, and a bunch of people DM me, and I'm sure they are DMing Connor too. And we deal with these in remarkably different ways. So I'm going to play the first link. And this is me, to be clear, confronting Destiny about the potential blacklist or ban. Here, let me get that up.
I'm thinking about dissociating.
Hold on, let me. There might be a. Yeah, excuse me if it's a little rough on the sharing stuff, but can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. An audience, tell me if you can hear it.
Myself from every community where 𝙬𝙗𝙬 is an active chatter, where 𝙬𝙗𝙬's still on the fucking server. I don't think I can handle it anymore.
Like, I understand your point here, and I actually agree with it, that these people going in and kind of creating these rumors constantly and spreading, like, and basically litigating why you are evil 24/7 is a problem. I agree with you 100%, right, on that. I just don't, I mean, I don't think it helps or will fix any issue by just blacklisting anyone that has any of these people in their server, right?
I disagree.
Alright,
I think
that's
I
pretty
think
much
it's a
all you
really effective way of doing things, and I think that's why that's their MO. Like that's their entire goal, right? Do you agree that 𝙬𝙚 is trying to enforce a form of blacklist against me with the way that he donates to people, right?
I think he's pressuring you. I don't know if I'd say blacklisting, but it's definitely a pressure campaign and manipulation campaign. I agree with you.
Money,
100%.
with thousands of dollars of money, right?
Sure, but
Yeah.
it hasn't worked in my case, right?
Sure.
Like, this is something that they've been doing, not just for a month, not just for a couple months, but for over a year now, that they've been constantly harassing me, basically, and trying to get me to ban you and to not have you on, either by directly saying that, like a few community members, or as 𝙬𝙚 does and say, I'm just not going to donate to you when you have Destiny on. That hasn't worked in my case. And so if you're going to blacklist
that's good to
people,
end it right there.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a good demonstration of you, Wick, being a good person and not actually being affected by these people. But it also is demonstrating that 𝙬𝙚 will go around to multiple communities, including you, and he will try to donate to people in order to create a financial incentive to create new snarkers, basically.
And I want to add, because it goes on for a few more minutes, but to be clear, Destiny agrees at the end of that conversation to let me have 𝙬𝙚 in the community still, because I was on there to fight for 𝙬𝙚's honor, basically, at this point, right? Because I was like, I'm not going to let myself be pressured to ban someone I don't want to ban who hasn't broken any of my rules. And so I went on stage towards Destiny, and I called him, and this is me, like, approaching him, and I was like, I'm not going to ban him, but is there a way that we can fix this issue without me having to do that? And he was, I feel like it was a very adult conversation, that he was like, yeah, sure, we can, you could just have it so that they're not allowed to do it in secret, and we can have recordings in your conversation of your VCs when they're doing it. And that way I can show people what's going on. And I thought that was a fine compromise. It caused a little chaos in my community at the time. Some of my community members vociferously disagreed with me. But at the end of the day, I was able to make a compromise with this. And it was very easy, and it was done and dusted. And, well, later things blew up in other ways, right? But at that point, it was like, okay, we're good. We're set. We've solved the issue. Counterpoints has a little bit of a different approach. You want me to play the next one?
Yeah.
Other people to help. What?
Like, gave them.
Oh, look, it's me. Anyway, let's go.
The opportunity and then kind of like strung them away. Gave them
I'm
reason
saying,
why they
but
wanted to
hold
do
on.
it.
I'm saying I actually asked other people to help. Like I said, we should report this guy. Here's the argument for reporting this guy. I think that's totally legitimate.
Hi, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's this gayness I'm hearing on the back channels?
I don't know. I haven't made a decision yet, but I'm thinking of just excising every part of my life that includes 𝙬𝙚 being in voice chats for 12 hours a day, talking about how I'm a pedophile, rapist, or whatever. I don't know if I want anything to do with any of those Discord servers.
Okay, is that 𝙬𝙚's principal sin so far?
I mean, it's one of many, but I think I can have that boundary. I think that's okay for me.
Okay. Well, then I'm calling you from a phone because I'm busy doing shit, but I don't know. I'll text you about it later.
Okay, have fun. Be careful.
All right, bye.
Is that it for this one?
Yeah, that'll be it. We're already starting to see something here, which is the 𝙬𝙚 sweep, the 𝙬𝙚 narrative of 𝙬𝙚 didn't do anything wrong. He that's his principal sin, and that's why Connor is of the opinion that 𝙬𝙚 is a Machiavellian character, but his actions so far do not deserve him to be attacked or I guess unmasked on the internet, in spite of everything that he's been doing so far, which we will get into. the whole thing. But yeah, I think Connor always had a bit of a predilection towards defending people like 𝙬𝙬 and defending Starkers, and this clip is very good
Well,
at showing that.
he's enjoyed the kind of commentary community for years. I don't think he's made a secret about this. He's watched 𝙬𝙗, he's watched Nicholas Diorio, he's watched Chud, he's watched that whole community. He likes it. It's his soap operas, right? It's his slop that he enjoys. So I mean, like, when we talk about what an influencer is and how content creators can influence you, when you seep yourselves into these communities as a viewer, even, let alone a content creator, things rub off. And again, we're going to get to that as we go. But right now, what we're doing is just to, again, reiterate to my audience, we're setting the stage. We're setting the scene. This is what's happened, and then we'll analyze it as we go. Okay, what's next?
I don't know if you want to pull up the Reddit post or not, but
I can read it just real quick. Might be useful.
Yeah, 𝙬𝙚 makes a Reddit post on his subreddit talking about how he is going to be banning. I don't know if it says specifically 𝙬𝙬.
Well, let's just read it real quick.
I think it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just go through it. I'll just be real quick. So this was posted, and he says, just as a heads up, here is the game being played. And again, this is after our discussions, right? So after me and 𝙬𝙬 both, or not 𝙬𝙬, but Counterpoints both talked to him, I believe. Is that the timeline? Am I correct in that?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, okay. So just as a heads up, here's the game being played in the background across several Twitch poll servers right now. Kiwi Farms, the Snarker sub, and Discord server, and several individuals whom I've been involved with in the past, Justical, 𝙬𝙬, 𝙬𝙗, etc., have been infiltrating and turning several communities against me by repeatedly debating for hours and hours and hours, for months and months and months, I am not exaggerating this, unfortunately, the same stupid talking points over and over and over again. This has been an active project that they have all been collaborating on for over a year, where several people will join Discord communities to make the same arguments or shower people with money on stream to donate negative or disgusting things about me. I have the challenge of balancing how much harassment and abuse I can take from these communities while not actually cutting them off, because it gives the Snarkers a big win in that they can permanently manifest there and continue to rot that community and the people in it until they also believe the same lies and smears about me. So unfortunately, today is probably a win for them in that they've managed to peel off Connor and mark his community as a conquered one. I imagine the next big battleground will be Wick's community. The talking points these people will use will revolve around several things, a few, but not all of them being, and it goes on for a while, but I think that's the gist of it. Okay. So you were part of Counterpoints' community, correct?
Yes.
How was this seen from that lens? Because I never really hung out in his Discord or anything. I've seen a few of his shows, and I've talked in his chats and stuff, but I would never consider myself like a part of his community in that sense, right? But you were. So kind of talk me through and kind of set the stage of what was going on at that time within the COG. That's what you guys called yourself, right? COGs?
Yeah, the COG.
Okay.
Yeah. Coggers is what they like to call themselves. It was always a separate identity. Connor wanted it to be like, oh, we're not Snarkers and we're not DGG. We're separate. We're the COG. They like to call themselves also grill hottists. Like grilling.
Yeah, the
there's
centrist
normal
meme, I
people.
get
They're
you.
chilling. It's all about chilling and grilling and not being Snarkers or DGG or anything like that. So I think that at the very beginning there was this fierce, oh well, we're just not going to be Snarkers, we're not going to be DGG, we're going to do our own thing, and we're not going to be influenced by these people. And I think Connor was trying to promote the idea that like 𝙬𝙬, who had been in his community for a while, deserved to be considered part of the COG, and thus to threaten him was to threaten his whole wider community. and I think a couple people went along with that, but there was also people in his community, myself included, who despised 𝙬𝙗, and at the time they did advise Connor to just fucking ban him. Uh, he doesn't really contribute anything besides arguing with people about destiny in Israel Palestine all day. And that was the view in his community back then.
I do remember this this whole incident being like the framing of this from the Snarker side and from 𝙬𝙗's side was that Destiny was basically bullying and threatening me and Counterpoints into doing what he said or else. And I think that framing is kind of dangerous. It feeds into the narratives that they've been painting for Destiny, about Destiny for years, about how he's manipulative, he's dangerous, he will destroy your life if you criticize him, even mildly. None of this has ever really been true, but it does, if you squint, kind of feed into that narrative that, oh, look, he's threatening his orbiters to ban who he wants or else he'll cut off all contact. But in reality, I think that people have a right to say, hey, if your community's engaging in this kind of behavior, I don't want to be a part of it, right? I don't want to come on your show if this is what you guys are going to allow in your community and things like that. Now, it's not how I would handle it specifically, but there's nothing unreasonable about that ask. There's nothing unreasonable about that concern. And again, Destiny showed himself to be very willing to compromise and being very willing to be open with that. And yeah, that's a thing that, like, I think that when we talk about influence, when we talk about manipulation, when we talk about poisoning the well and putting information into people's ears, I think that framing, more than any other, was kind of the catalyst for what happens next with Counterpoints, right? That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think I would agree with that as well, and I would love to get into the epic response that Connor has with his live stream.
Okay, where are we going
because
next?
this
What's the
is
next? What's the next?
Quite.
And to be clear, audience, if you're asking me, hurry it up, go faster, shut up. We're gonna go at my own space. We're being thorough because I just want to make it clear. If we are not thorough, this is asymmetrical warfare. What I mean by that, I have to be exactly correct. I cannot make any mistakes here. If I do, it will be used to negate everything I say, right? Any even innocent mistake will be used to toss all of this out. I have to build my argument piece by piece. Otherwise, they will ignore the whole thing and say, well, you never substantiated X, Y, or Z. They, in turn, operate under no such restrictions. They will simply make shit up. They will fabricate.
They will lie.
They will, yes, they will lie. They will basically fabricate whole ass things that never happened. Alish exposed this when Aiden basically just made shit up about a call or some logs that existed that did not actually exist. He just made it up. Or someone told him that they existed and they made it up, right? It's this rumor mill of insinuation and things like, again, and they'll never be punished for any of that. They will never lose a single viewer, lose any support for any of that, where we have to be exactly correct. So if you're asking me to go faster, I understand you're wanting this to get to the juicy stuff. I get it, but we have to be thorough. And that's why we're doing this way. So, dear viewers, give us some grace, okay? Let us go. Let us do this. Okay, what am I clicking on next?
Okay, so the one called Connor giving 𝙬𝙗 a softball platform. So, context to this live stream. Connor takes this as a ultimatum that and a threat. And I believe you are come on this live stream as well. This was on
I remember
May
this.
22nd.
I'm not on this clip.
Yeah, not on this clip. And there's a wide variety of people who call in during this thing. And what I think is most important to emphasize is how Connor treats how Connor has Destiny on and how Connor has like 𝙬𝙚 on, and the interesting distinction between the two, because when he has 𝙬𝙚 on, he is being very soft. There is no real pushback whatsoever. The whole point is sort of like unapologetically platforming him. But then when we get into the next clip, we'll see how he
Okay,
reacts.
just let me
to,
know when you
Destiny
want me to
coming
stop.
on.
But I'm gonna.
Yeah, we're good. Let's go.
Let's go.
So yeah, I was just gonna say like a couple things that I wanted to bring up, because like there's this perception that he's putting out that I'm giving you money to like warp your perception and to like win you over or some shit. And
Can I ask you, from your perception, has that worked at all?
Absolutely not. I don't think that's what I'm doing at all. I gave you $500 to watch a fucking grill video. Like,
Right.
Like to put into perspective, like I gave like $100 to listen to a song that I like. Like and I think the vast majority of my super chats to you are me shit talking you and what you believe, right? Like I'm not trying to win you over. I'm literally just arguing with you through super chat. Like that's literally what it is, and 99% of the time, right? We rarely agree on things when I'm super chatting. So the idea that I'm like trying to win you over or something, like it's so silly. Yeah, I'm trying to win you over with like arguments, sure, but it's not tied to you agreeing with me at all. You disagreeing with me is much more likely to get me to like super chat. And I said this to Wig too. Like if he wants me to super chat more, he just needs to have Tallybots on, because when she's on, I want to shit talk her constantly because I think she's fucking stupid. So I super chat a ton just to shit talk her.
Okay, I do want to comment on this argument, right? This idea that, oh, I just give you money and it's totally okay. I'm just giving you money and it's more likely I'll give you money when we disagree. People, I don't know if they're stupid or they just have never experienced someone who is good at manipulating others. When someone's trying to manipulate you or to persuade you or to influence you with money specifically, they don't always do it. In fact, if they're smart, they don't do it directly at all. They won't be like, here's $100 to say what I want you to say, right? Like, or, oh, I want you to change your position. Here's $1,000 to do that. No, they will basically kind of nudge you in different ways. When you are saying things that they want, they will kind of be your friend and be much more friendly and be on friendly terms with you. And they'll be like, here's $500 to watch a grill video. But they're doing that not just to get you to watch that grill video, but to push you along certain lines. And this is not just the money. It's combined with the talking in Discord, talking in the DMs, conversations, not just with 𝙬𝙚, but with those around 𝙬𝙚. Like these all push towards certain directions. And 𝙬𝙚 has done this for years. And when they say, well, if you don't, if you have certain people on, I'm not going to give you any money, right? That is, by definition, a form of manipulation, right? They are wanting a certain outcome, and if you don't give them that outcome, they won't give you any money. And now, again, no one's forced to give you money, right? And this is a fairly normal thing. But in the context of everything else going on, total Destiny death, a whole server dedicated to basically harassing anyone around Destiny, 𝙬𝙗𝙗, etc. Like these things, it starts to take on different connotations. And so this argument that he's giving is just total bunk. And you could just see through it. But let's keep going.
That's literally what it is.
Right.
So like, has nothing to do with like, oh, you have to, if you agree with me, I want to pay you more or some shit like that. It's nothing to do with that. Like Wick and I have had massive disagreements. Fucking heated disagreements where he like rage quits and like kicks me out of the call and calls me an anti-Semite, right? Like that kind of shit has probably done more to like push me away from like donating or whatever than anything else, right? But
oh yeah, that was
like,
super fucking heated too. That was crazy pants.
Yeah, and that's like the second or third time we had a conversation like that, like a huge disagreement. That's nothing to fucking do with Destiny at all, right? So, I don't donate to people because they agree with me. I'm more likely to donate if they disagree with me. Actually, what I've said is, if he's on stream,
right there.
Okay.
So this whole conversation between Connor and 𝙬𝙚 basically goes like this, where 𝙬𝙚 will be on and he will be spouting whatever snark narrative is in his mind, and Connor will not be challenging anything that he's saying whatsoever. It's just sort of like a mindless agreement. And now, let's see, this is not when Destiny joins this clip, but I think this is demonstrative of the sort of hostility that comes on the other end.
Are we talking about
which,
the descriptively one?
Yes, the descriptively one. Yes.
True. It's just not
Okay,
true.
so-
But I
so-
do
Okay, let's go.
I
Do,
wanna- I
do
do
you
wanna say
have
one thing, though.
anything
I was
that you
thinking
want to
about
talk to him about? Yes or no?
Well, I mean, we could
I
do.
want
I mean,
to
we
know
could run this. We could run this one thing, Connor. Do you find his arguments for why it's acceptable to dox my kid and his mom, who live in a separate state from me? Do you find those arguments compelling?
As a description, yes.
So you think that if you dox a person, then it is the equivalent to dox the other person's every single unrelated family member, because the one person who got doxed might have a family member that lives with them.
Yeah, sure. Let me go ahead and ask you a question.
Okay.
Doobie,
No.
can I kick you? Can I kick you?
I just wanted to hear that. That's okay. We don't have to
Doobie,
run
can I
down
kick you
that,
so Destiny and
thought
I can just hash this?
No. I don't, Connor. I'm not gonna have that conversation with you. I don't give a fuck, honestly.
Yeah, I think-
The second question
I
is
give a fuck.
the second question.
I give a fuck because I think. Hold on. If we are, I know the thumbnail was a meme, but I think that this situation is actually quite serious, and you are thinking about like complete disassociation from me and Wick. So
It's
if
not serious, Connor. This is not a serious conversation, and I'm not. I won't understand. I'll just hang out. I'm sorry. I'm being honest. Like that opinion is so immediately stupid. I'm not even going to pretend to have a conversation with you unless. There has to be a way to remove all those.
All right, that's a
dude.
good point right there. Yeah. So you can see that there's a massive difference in how these two people are being treated differently by Connor. Also, I think it's completely. I do not agree at all with the descriptive versus prescriptive.
That was a crazy
argument
comment.
That
was a
Connor
crazy comment.
gives out. Yeah. It's pretty fucking wild. It's another demonstration of Connor falling for these like starker talking points.
As soon as you're saying that
what
it's
Doobie was just
like targeting a single individual is the same as targeting not only the individual but their specific family members that are separate from that individual as well, right?
Thus it is okay to go after that person's
that's
other
insane.
family
Like
members
someone
who not
doxed
be,
you,
like, directly,
so now you
like,
can
living with
dox
you.
their
Yeah,
child.
it's a whole wild thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that if you think that that's in any way true, then you're just a fucking horrible human being. So yeah. Okay. But no, I understand, and I think it's a good demonstration of. We saw the clip where he was talking with Doobie, very friendly, very nice, very cordial, very like, okay, just explain it. And where the clip with with Destiny, I should say, very hostile, very confrontational, very heated, right? And very very threatening, I guess, in a way, from all sides in that. So it just escalated quickly. But yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
What's next?
There is a Reddit post also for the 22nd. I don't know if you see that.
Reddit post
called Screenshot of Connor. This is just a screenshot of his live stream, which is I think it's good to get into his thinking a little bit of the reasonable and unreasonable ask when it comes to.
Okay, in case you can't see this on the screen, reasonable ask. Do not allow snarkers into your community to endlessly talk shit about me, or I will no longer associate, fraternize, debate, or talk with you. Unreasonable ask. Since I, Destiny, have a disproportionate amount of clout and power in spite of and because of, it is safer to ban snarkers entirely, so you do not warrant my wrath or disassociation. But just to let everyone know what that is. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is just the demonstration of Connor continuing to be brain broken and unable to understand why Destiny was making the ask of wanting to remove Doobie, or why he would just want to disassociate with communities that would continue to allow Doobie. I mean, he had the option to keep him in, but he just...
If he had labeled these the good faith interpretation and the bad faith interpretation, he would probably be correct. Like, the good faith interpretation of what Destiny asks, or his ask, if you will, is, yeah, if you have this kind of behavior in community, I don't want to associate with you anymore. The bad faith implication that people have been pushing is that I, Destiny, and the big streamer, I have a disproportionate amount of clout and power, and you will do what I say, because if you don't, you will be punished, right? That's a very bad faith framing of that, right? So again, if you change the labels, it might actually be correct. But
Alrighty, and then there is the announcement that he makes in his Discord server by the end of the day.
okay, let me
If you
look
want
at
to pull
this.
that image up. Might be best just to keep the share screen on constantly.
Yeah, well, the reason I switch is because I don't want to accidentally show something, right?
Okay, that's fair.
Does that make sense? I want to make sure that I'm not accidentally sharing something I shouldn't.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. So this is an announcement. This is on the 22nd of May, 2026, the year of our Lord. It says, everyone, we are not snarkers, nor do we tolerate it. But we also don't bend the knee to people slandering us without evidence. Fuck snarkers. Fuck DGG. Long live the cock. Now, what's he referring to with the slander without evidence?
I think the slander without evidence is basically accusing. I don't think Connor has ever accepted the idea that he is doing this to ingratiate himself with the snarkers or to like integrate themselves in their community. I think he, even today, because you saw his Twitter replies when he made the announcement for this live stream, he believes that he is a free-thinking individual, and all of the narratives that he's come up with have been on their own and not fed to him by Gisticle and 𝙬𝙗𝙬 and 𝙬𝙗𝙬 and all of them. So,
Well, I'm in best faith here. I think he actually believes that. I think he actually believes he's come to these conclusions all on his own. But good manipulation and good propaganda will lead you to that conclusion. You think you thought of it, but you have been manipulated and guided into thinking that, led like a horse is led to water, okay? Herded towards that conclusion, right? And again, he's admitted he's immersed himself in these communities. And in fact, on the 23rd, right, he goes public with the Brit allegations and talks to 𝙬𝙬𝙬, Gisticle, Purple Perry Gaming, right? And he goes, and he basically immerses himself in these communities and just parrots their talking points. They are the same. And again, what we're doing now, I just want to make it clear, we're setting the stage of why he is in the headspace he is in when he's making these allegations. Because I want to be clear, the immoral part of all of this, for me, is the call to CPS and the call to the FBI. Or I'm not sure if it was the FBI, it might have been just local police, right? Based on all of this, right? And we're just trying to kind of set the stage of why he did this. And again, put yourself in Counterpoint's shoes here. He has been immersed in kind of snarker narratives. He has been streaming with the snarker cabal here, the 𝙬𝙬𝙬s, the Gisticles. 𝙬𝙗𝙬's been paying money for years. He's basically set himself up in this community. He's seen as a community member by Counterpoints. And again, he thinks that this is all kind of natural and all kind of, it just happened. But this has been a campaign. It's been coordinated. It's been led. And they've done this artificially. This is on purpose. And I want to make that very clear. Anyway, what am I showing next on the stream?
The May 23rd live stream is what we're going to be looking at next, which is if you want to pull up like the live stream, they're not with any timestamps or anything like that, and like scroll through.
Okay.
I just want to
just
show something.
I remember being on this one.
Oh, is this I think you.
Oh, did I click the wrong one?
I think you clicked the specific timestamp and not the one that I was looking at. Don't worry, we can go back to this later. I just wanted to show, just like hover your mouse over the thing and show like the previous parts of the live stream. I don't know if you can show that. Like you can see that Connor is talking to snarkers.
Here's
before.
𝙬𝙬𝙬.
So yeah, the day after he says fuck snarkers, we're going to be like independent. He brings 𝙬𝙬𝙬 on his live stream,
and he's on for an hour and 40 minutes. Okay, I'm just going by the timestamps here. Then who's this guy?
And then I don't know who this person is. I didn't have. I'm not gonna lie. This is like 50 hours of content that I've had to review for this thing.
I
and
understand.
didn't have time
Well,
to go
this
over
guy's
everything,
only
so I
on
don't-
for
I don't
20
know.
minutes. So whoever he is,
Yeah.
not that important.
All right, and then this is Purple Perry Gaming, who is a massive snarker.
To be
and
clear,
that he is so
Yeah, Purple Perry
infamous
Gaming's
that
the
I
guy
think other
that said
snarkers
that
hate him.
they should mock Hutch's sister's death more.
Yes,
right.
that is.
That's the guy,
Purple
and
Perry
he made a
Gaming.
video about wanting to turn Hutch's sister into a table. So if you want to know the quality of people that he's dealing with here and who he's having on, to kind of in his little cope session here, that's the kind of person we're talking about. Who's this?
I think this is this Nos Live? I think that's Nos Live.
I don't know who that is. Tell me who that is.
It's another snarker person, 15 viewer Andy, who defends.
And he's
I don't
on
know
for
who
20
this
minutes
specific
ish.
person is.
And who's this?
I don't know who this specific person is. I think Gisticle joins after this. Yeah.
So yeah, he's on for like 10 minutes, and then Gisticle comes, and Gisticle is on
Yeah, and
for looks like at least an hour. Yes, about, I would say a little over an hour. Hour and 15, hour 20, something like that. So yes. Okay, you want me to go back to the timestamp or whatever?
Yeah, there's a timestamp. So in this call, eventually Destiny joined. I think they joined the Darius's server, the Melting Pot, and they have this whole discussion. It's
Anybody
Connor,
fucking
I think
challenges you on
Fruit Chops is
anything.
there as well. And in order for Connor to get a win in his argument with Destiny, he proceeds to basically leak personal information between him and Lauren Southern.
And this I feel is also immoral, though to a lesser degree, right? I think that bringing in people's personal issues and personal lives into an internet argument is always an L. It's wrong to do. You should not do this. This is something that you should avoid, right? Especially when it comes to people's relationships, families, kids, any of that, right? If it's private information, do not make it public, especially for an argument. But let's go through and let's see what he has to say.
Even if they love you, you run away because you're afraid of growing up. You are not 13 anymore.
Yeah,
you
I
are
run away.
40.
Oh my god.
Grow
Everything,
up.
It's all there. Every piece is in place. The Infinity Stones have merged.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you one more. You know Lauren wanted to get back with you?
Really?
Yes. She loves you. She wants the best for you. She thinks that underneath all the sludge and bullshit of your fucked up little life, there is something redeeming about you. And I agree with her. But you are such a fucking asshole that it is impossible to be your friend. It's impossible to be your partner. It is impossible to tell you that you're wrong. It's impossible for you to take a fucking L. So take a fucking L and take a goddamn lap.
Connor, if you want a fucking L, me and Lauren have been dating for like 3 months, and we both agreed not to tell you because you asked her out while we were in the middle of dating. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about with literally anything you're saying. Connor,
Yes, I do, because I
Are we keeping going? or-
Yeah, I think that's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Connor. I think this is probably one of the worst things. One of the things that he is I'm most critical of him doing, which is basically try to bring up personal information in order to get a dunk on Destiny, when it's completely unrelated, by the way, to the conversation. Connor, I don't know. I thought he was good at debating and good at like being good faith, but throughout this entire saga, he has continually tried to bring up like adjacent points in order to like substantiate arguments that those adjacent points don't really matter, in order to get like some sort of win. And it's completely bad faith. It's completely disgusting, in my opinion.
The idea that you would bring people's personal lives into it, right? As if it mattered. Look, I'm going to be real. The only reason you should care about a streamer's relationships is if you're trying to have a romantic relationship with that streamer. I think it matters then, like the body count of this, or who the streamer's dating, who the streamer's fucking. Yeah, if you want to have some kind of intimate, personal, sexual relationship, that might be pertinent to know, and you should probably care, right? That should probably matter to you how they do that. If you're having a professional relationship with someone, that does not matter at all, right? You know what it is? It's a big fat none of anybody's business. It's nobody's business who 𝙬𝙚 dates, who 𝙬𝙚 doesn't date, whether he's good in a relationship, whether he's bad in a relationship, whether he's someone that people like to be around or not. It doesn't. None of that should matter to you in a room, like, unless again you're trying to date them. But if you're not, then who the fuck cares? And to bring this up is very, very weird, and it's very, very the willingness, and this comes up later, and we're gonna get to it because it gets worse. The willingness to bring up personal, private information in order to get a dunk is immoral on its face. This was a mild form of it, but it gets worse, and we're gonna get to that. What's next?
Yeah, it gets worse about bringing up private information. The
Connor
Connor
spread snarker chaos thing, or
I think it's Connor making the claim.
okay, so we're not doing the talk to JStalk one. We're doing the one after that.
We'll get into that later for part 2.
Okay. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, let's listen. Oh. Ooh, see, fail already. It was a Reddit thing, so it was muted. Let's go back.
Reddit. Thank you.
Look into this chick. Why do you think he's like this? Because he was molested as a kid. And I'm not saying that in a funny way. I actually don't know if he was molested. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And also his grandma had dementia, and his grandma euthanized a bunch of dogs when he was a teenager. What the fuck, Connor? You can't just say like shit like this? Yeah, I can. Damn, are there any snarker talking points he doesn't use? See ya, retard. Kiwi child molestation talking point? I mean, you explain the promiscuity. Bro, I'm sorry you can't say someone was molested. He might have been. Was he actually molested? No. I don't know. The thing that I do know is his fucking grandma euthanized a bunch of dogs when he was a teenager and it fucked him up. And it's your place to decide that's worthy of snark and hate? Yep, correct.
Do we need to explain why this is wrong?
I think.
Do we need to?
Yeah,
like,
I don't even know if we need to. Yeah.
I think we should, though, just in
something
case.
is like self-evident, but like this is pretty disgusting. Bringing up that information, which I'm sure was said in full confidentiality between the two, but also try to
also just making shit up about him being molested.
Yeah,
just making shit up. Like, oh, he was probably someone probably molested him as a kid, and saying immediately after, well, I don't know, but probably. And then moving forward. But it also explains his mindset here. Because this is again, he's willing to just take something he read or heard, and this was from Kiwi Farms, by the way, from the snark communities. He read this or heard this or was told this. He didn't just make it up or pull it out of his ass. This was something that had been going around for a while. And he's building a narrative in his mind. He's working backwards from his conclusion. And he's trying to explain to himself how he reached that conclusion. So he's willing to just believe things that he hears that fits that narrative, that he has made this conclusion. He's been beefing with 𝙬𝙚. He got crushed in a debate. He was embarrassed because of the Lauren Southern thing. And so now he's crafting this narrative, right? And he's working backwards from that. And he's pulling these pieces that he's heard and he's putting together this bridge. He's building this bridge to get from what he actually knows to what he thinks or what he believes, right? And his willingness to just do that. That's pretty disgusting. And I would say immoral in and of itself. But it gets evil later. When he does that same thing, and this is spoiler alert, gang, he does that same level of evidence to call CPS on people, to take it from internet beef, making a stream where you're just saying shit, to actually calling federal agencies to investigate and to basically going on a fishing expedition towards people's families in a way that can ruin lives, puts people in actual danger. And it's traumatic experience. It's crazy. But here we see the glimpse of this starting, of his willingness to do that, his willingness to simply say shit and then convince himself that he believes it because, as he says in the clip, what else explains the promiscuity? Bitch, what else explains someone wanting to fuck a bunch of people? I don't need... No red-blooded American man needs to get molested to want to put their dick in a lot of women, okay? That's just a thing that people want to do. Now, again, you can have problems with the way he conducts his sex life, but unless you're trying to fuck him, it should not matter. Why do you fucking care? I don't get it. And it's making me mad, honestly, watching this shit again. I didn't think I was going to be mad. I thought I was going to be calm, collected. No, but no, this is beyond the pale. Anyone defending it is fucking gross. They are enabling behavior that is evil. It is evil. I don't know. I'm ranting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is very, very evil and disgusting and morally abhorrent. And I think that needs to be actually no, we'll save that for later. Don't worry. We'll get into it.
Okay.
Okay, so on this live stream, I kind of forgot to pull this up. This is also the first time that Connor does bring up the Brit allegations as well. I don't know if you have the live stream, the Israel live stream still pulled up.
I can pull it up again. Do you have a timestamp?
An L.
Let's see here now. 5 hours, 16 minutes, and 41 seconds.
5 hours, 16 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. In 41 seconds?
Yes.
We're going to get to 37 seconds because that's when the thing will go. Let me bring it up. Let's watch.
Strongest example?
Yeah.
How about Brit?
I've never met this person in real life in my entire life.
Yeah, are you communicating with them right now?
They try to add me on 50 million different accounts, but right now, no, I am not.
Yeah, I know you are.
Okay, I'm literally not. I
Can
bet
you
if I check
produce
my
evidence
friend messages
counterpoints?
right now, I bet that they probably have
Steven.
a thing saying, please add me again.
Steven.
But you said I fuck mentally ill women. What is
Yes.
the strongest go-to example of fuck mentally ill women?
Sherry. Anne of War.
All right, and that's
Pick
all you need. This is the very first mention of the Brit allegations. This was not mentioned in the live stream of the previous day. He is now bringing this up, even though the whole thing sort of like blew up over 𝙬𝙬. Now we're seeing him try to transition this from 𝙬𝙬 to Brit, and first pushing the idea that Destiny is a fantasizing about molesting children, which is very wild.
We're going to get into that, but I want it
we'll get
noted,
into that.
okay? Because with the Brit stuff, Brit's husband or ex-husband now, I guess, had tagged me months ago when Counterpoints got tagged too, right? And he was like, "Hey, Destiny's my wife cheated on me with Destiny, blah blah blah, and someone needs to ruin his life, blah blah blah." And I saw that because I remember it was like, this is a wild accusation, and I was like, you know what? It's none of my business, and I moved on, right? Because it's not. Even if that is entirely true, that someone's wife cheated on them with Destiny, okay, that sounds like a personal issue. I am not going to join your crusade. That's weird. Why are you tagging me in this? And it felt odd. It felt weird. It felt way too personal, way too parasocial. And I was like, I'm not fucking with that. Apparently, Counterpoints went all in. And I think that just shows a difference in how we engage in the space. But yeah, that was wild. But the reason I bring that up is because I remember not only was I in the call, but I was watching the chats, right? Just to see what people were saying during that call. And I saw the names that I remember because I have a fairly decent memory of the names involved. They were begging counterpoints. They were like literally begging. They DM'd me that night too, right? Saying, can you get him to stop? Can you get him to stop bringing us up? We don't want to have anything to do with this. We're not a part of any of this arguments. We're not a part of this debate. We're not part of this anything. We're civilians, right? Basically. Please do not drag us into this. They were begging him in public in chat. You can go through the logs of the chats and you can see them saying these things. And they were DMing me, and I'm sure they were DMing other people, trying desperately to get him to stop. That was also deeply immoral, to take civilians, right? And to try to use them as a dunk, as a weapon, weaponizing people who are uninvolved in your little spat. Because remember, the catalyst to all this was Destiny didn't want to associate with people who had 𝙬𝙚 in their community, right? That's the catalyst to all of this. And in order to protect his ego, in order to paint Destiny out as some sort of monster, he is pulling things from everywhere he can get them, okay? And this isn't something that he is doing on his own. Remember, this stream that happened was after talking for over 4 hours with snarkers directly on stream. Who knows how many countless hours of conversations off stream that we don't have access to, chatters in Discords, chatters in DMs, chatters in private communities, right? And also, again, hours of conversation with 𝙬𝙚 on stream. And all of these things are pushing, whispers in his ear, and he thinks he's coming to these conclusions on his own, but these people are pushing him to see Destiny in the worst light possible. And when you do that, you start pulling things like, oh, he was probably molested as a kid. Oh, his grandma euthanized animals or something. Which, again, I don't know if he knows that for a fact or if it was just a rumor. I'm not sure. But that, again, that has nothing to do with anything. And to bring that out as a weapon to try to paint Destiny as some sort of malformed monster, this psychopath that has been built by his past, is not just reckless, but immoral and wrong. I don't know. What's next?
Alrighty. So the day after, on the 24th of May, Connor releases 3 statements to his community about what's going on with the drama. So we'll get into that.
Hopefully people can read these, but just in case. So this is on the 24th at 1:43 a.m. So that night, pretty much. I think that's a.m. It could be p.m. I don't fucking know. Okay, well, we'll just go. At everyone, the good timeline. Listen, everything is going to be fine. Destiny will eventually realize Connor is right. He'll abandon his whorish ways, get back together with Lauren, win his court case, publish a January 6th documentary. That's the first one. Couple hours later, at everyone, I get tensions are high, but that was probably the climax. I said what I probably needed to say for a year. There will likely be a few cleanup streams when something pops up, but then it'll be back to business. Some drama frogs and DGG cocksleeves will watch the stream for a few days and will get bored after a 10-minute rant on EvoPsych religious phenomenon. It will be fine. Edit it. At noon. At everyone. Until midnight EST tonight, you can talk about the Destiny drama. At midnight, we're cutting it off. Not because it's not interesting, but because this Discord is not going to be the Destiny Dick Helicopter Discord. There's plenty of other spaces for that. Okay.
Spoiler alert, that does not happen.
Okay. Well, yeah, you were in the community. How did this all go down?
The way that I recall is there was a temporary ban, and people tried to go back to normal with not talking about any relevant drama. And then people kept wanting to talk about it, so they made a separate channel called Dramatism, in which they would try to just, okay, if people are going to talk about it, we might as well quarantine it to a specific channel. And that's where you're going to get your famous 𝙬𝙚 screenshots like, yeah, I downloaded CSAM onto my computer. So,
Oof.
yeah.
We're gonna get to that, gang. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're doing the timeline now, but we're going to talk about the larger context in which all of this is occurring, not just with counterpoints, but in general. And we're gonna get to that. But it's a process. It's a process. We're building something. We're putting it together piece by piece, and we're building up. Okay, that's what we're doing. I love you all. I love you all. Here,
So
just so I make a little money today. I'm gonna read some of these super chats. Here we go. Testicle Johnson for $2 says North is a non-fawn orbiter. Non-fawn made North. Is that true? How do you answer the allegations? He's silent.
Using this
He's
opportunity to get some water.
Okay.
Yes, no, I am a non-fawn orbiter. Shout out non-fawn420
Sure.
on Twitch and YouTube and Kick and Rumble. And
Yeah, $5 from Nobody Chef to say if he comes on to defend himself, he will probably just spam the F slur to get you demonetized. Well, if he spams the F slur, I will kick him. My listening library for $5 says cock. JK, love the content. I feel bad for counterpoints. It's why I only interact through YouTube comments. And yeah, look, I kind of feel bad for the guy too, but it is what it is. We can feel bad, but also recognize what he's doing is evil and wrong. 5 pounds from Riz What the Fuck says, for what it's worth, I read a lot into Connor's language about gayness. It's on his mind a lot. $5 from Zephyr Hash, get manipulated, baby. True. Riz What the Fuck, 5 months membership for tier 2. Ooh. Says drink every time something is descriptive or prescriptive. I don't want to die. Riz What the Fuck says that clip of Connor taking a massive L is cinema. Thank you for the 2 pounds. $10 from Zorp says he wants Destiny to sue him. I don't think anyone wants someone to sue them, to be clear. 2 Sheds Tom for $2 says, what does DGG janitor pay? Here's $2 more. I don't know. Ask your mom. She's always cleaning up our cum. $5 from Zzorp. Connor thinks that anything drama learns about, even if it's not about him, now belongs to him through virtue of him knowing about it. That's weird. $5 more from Zzorp. Retry. Connor thinks that any drama he learns about now belongs to him by virtue of him simply knowing about it. I got it the first time, but thanks for the additional 5. Then $5 from Alishness to say, oh my God, I'm here. What did I miss? Did anyone get snarked yet? Well, we're all getting snarked together. We'll bring you on in a second, Alish. I know people want to get in on this and they want to have their say, but I want to make sure we go through the basics before we get everyone in and yapping, okay? So we'll get to it. Okay. Now that we've had a little break.
Yeah, after these Discord announcements, I privately call Connor and I ask him like, okay, dude, what are you gonna do with like the future of your channel? Are you going to?
And when was this? This was after these announcements, to be clear. So this is on the 24th.
This is on the 24th, like very late night on the 24th.
Are you comfortable telling us a little bit about like what he said in the call? I don't want you to like if it was like super personal.
There was some personal things in the call that I'm not going to release.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think that the important thing that I really want to reference is I brought up to Connor like there are 2 paths he can go down. There is the one where he sticks to doing politics and he tries to build like this Never Trump community, or one where he goes down and he does drama, and all he does is he snarks and he does drama and he will not try to build anything politically. And this has been like a discussion in his community before. There's someone called Arthur. I don't know if you're familiar with that user or not. He's in Kalinda's community, I believe. Who has talked to Connor about wanting him to do more like serious political content instead of focusing on snarker stuff. I don't have the specific clip on hand, but Connor has said in the past that he prefers to do drama content because it pays more. He'll get more views doing it, and he'll get more super chats because people are going to disagree with him on his like drama content. Versus if he was to do politics content, it's going to be less viewers, less donations. So that is a tension that needs to be acknowledged. in his community.
Fair enough. What's next?
And then the 25th, let's see, I forget what this live stream is called.
Okay.
Yeah, the future of Counterpoints politics. This is, I believe this clip is the one where he fully articulates the Brit allegations. Because he didn't really do that before when he first said it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that was stuck in my piece of popcorn stuck in my teeth. And then the other piece of popcorn that was stuck in my teeth, I think I told you guys this, but I'll tell you now in a more calm manner, is that Britt and, well, actually her husband DM'd me first. I got a mention on Twitter. I'm going to narrativize this because to my recollection, this is exactly what happened. I got an @ on Twitter saying, hey, Destiny is ruining my life and ruining my family, and no one will talk about it at 4 creators who are Destiny's orbiters. And so I'm not the kind of guy to, basically like ignore problems, maybe I'll minimize my problems, maybe I'll attack my problems, maybe I'll criticize my problems, but I'm not the kind of person to ignore my problems. So I like, okay, let's take this into the DMs. So we go into DMs. And Devil basically tells me, and unfortunately this is on a suspended account, but I guarantee you, like somewhere in my pictures, I have the screenshots of the conversations that are relevant.
Does he have these? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, he does have these.
Yeah.
He basically says, hey, I'm married. I'm a political dissident, I guess if you don't want to call him a groiper. And Destiny has been sexting my wife for almost a year. They've done weird role play shit involving like teenage shit. And by the way, I don't want to exaggerate. So I'm not going to exaggerate. Based off of what I understand, it wasn't like a prepubescent, diddling thing. It was like a teenage babysitter role play thing. Okay? But
he changes his mind later, doesn't he?
Yes, he does change his mind later.
Because when I hear age play, that's what I think. Like, oh, teacher, I got like a bad grade. Is there any way I could get my grade up? Or, oh, the babysitter's here and I can stay up an extra hour if I do something for her. Like that kind of shit, right? It's weird, but people like it. Not my jam, but if you want to do that, okay, as long as it's 2 consenting adults, I don't give a shit. So that's what I hear when I hear age play. And to be clear, if you've ever called or been called someone a daddy, you've engaged in age play. So anyway.
Still, like, it's fucking weird, dude. You're 40. You're 40. Like fucking why are you DMing random married women in order to pretend to be a teenager who's getting molested by a babysitter? That's fucking freak shit. Right? And there's going to be some dead air for a second because I think I'm going to pull this up because I think it's important. Because I sent this message basically knowing. And it looks like Destiny blocked me, unblocked me, and then re-blocked me. So I don't know if he had.
When are we done with this clip?
I think that is good right here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Connor is doubling down on the Brit allegations. He sort of mentioned it before. Didn't really elaborate it on the Israel stream, and then on this one he further talks about the insanity of the idea that Destiny is Connor's whole narrative is that Destiny is jacking off to the idea of molesting his own children. That is what he's trying to push.
I mean,
and he's using the Brit and Devil and I think a girl named Layla, I think is her name, as evidence of this, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, that's later. That's later. That's getting there, right? But yes, when people say age play, they're trying to imply something. But again, if a woman has ever called you daddy, you've engaged in age play. Congratulations, right? When people aren't specific and they use these general, broad, sinister terms, they are usually doing that for a reason. They are trying to imply something that being specific would not actually carry the same connotations, right? And again, as I understand it, counterpoints, no one has seen the logs of these sects, have they? Am I incorrect?
No, there's been no logs posted.
So
as far
all
as
we
I'm
know
aware.
is that
and
age
Connor
play
would have
happened.
provided them if he had them.
Everything outside of that is speculation, and this is where context and the environment comes into play. If you are inclined to think of Destiny as some sort of monster, then when you hear age play, you think, oh, they're pretending to molest their own children, right? But if you are a normal person who hasn't been brain raped, you think, oh, it's like babysitter shit. Okay. And here in the clip that we just played, Counterpoints, that's his initial assumption too. Oh, it's just babysitter shit. Right. But as time goes on, and as more and more people pressure him, directly and indirectly, as more and more people are whispering in his ear, as he has time to stew, as he's watching the reacts to all his content, as he's watching DGG go at him, and he's getting angrier and angrier, and he's getting more and more stubborn, well, it goes from there. What's next?
So on the document, there are 3 live streams posted. You don't actually have to pull these up. I'm just gonna. People can reference them afterward. The reason why I linked them is because Connor will, after in the future of the timeline, will talk about how he never brings up Destiny, and he never tries to litigate this on his live stream outside of the one initial blow up with the drama. And I linked these live streams so people can control F and just look up the word Destiny, and you'll see it like 30 times, like every single live stream. It is it's pretty amusing.
So he fails basically in his ability to not bring up Destiny, is what you're saying. That's a thing you're.
Yes.
Okay. And again, we'll make the document public. People can go through it in your own time and watch those and do the control Fs on the transcripts, anything you want. Okay, here's another message, it looks like.
Yeah, so on the 28th, Connor makes this big announcement on his live stream.
So it's been a few days, gang, remember. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to read it to you guys. Okay, everyone, I will make this clear so people can make an informed choice. My entire life, I've done what I thought was right, regardless of consequence. This will inherently attract criticism from friends, allies, rivals, and enemies. I am in the process of ending a 6-year online friendship with a large creator who I think has crossed a line I will not follow him past. That line is you should not engage in pedophilic and ephebophilic fantasies, especially with mentally vulnerable people. This is a sane position, and for stating my former friend is dangerous to himself and others in public, I am being criticized. I am also being maligned and lied about by my former friends and his fans. Tonight, I will do a live stream articulating the chronology of our relationship, why I admired him, worked with him, and liked him. I will be talking about why even after most people abandoned him, why I chose to stay. I will talk about what I think is still positive about him, but I will also be talking about the negative things I found out about him through no desire of my own. I will talk about why I didn't publish a negative story immediately and why I am doing so now. I want to make a couple comments on this, but explain, and then I will comment. But go ahead.
Yeah, so Connor will proceed to upload a live stream in which he is going to try to go over the Devil Brit, and I believe this is when we see the Layla thing also pop up, allegations. And Connor is basically, yeah, as I said before, he's trying to insinuate that Destiny is engaging in pedophilic role play in which he's fantasizing about molesting his own children and the children of Brit.
And I want to make this clear. This accusation is being made without him seeing any logs, any sexting, none of it. None of it. He hasn't seen any of it. All of this is based on hearsay, rumor, speculation, and I heard someone else say this other thing that this other person texted me, or I caught a glimpse of in the corner of my eye as someone else was scrolling their phone, or things like that. And remember, the people who are initially telling him about these things are people who are going through a bitter divorce. Someone who is in a state of mind where they tagged me and a bunch of other creators to try to hurt �績because �績, this guy's wife was cheating on him with �績, which, you know, affairs are bad. You shouldn't do affairs and things like that. Naughty, naughty. But like, none of my business. But this is a mindset. And these people have changed their stories over and over and over again during this whole thing, right? It's insane. It's insane. And to imply that he's engaging in pedophilic and ephemophilic fantasies based on that information is pretty intense. Because remember, technically, if you've ever had a babysitter fantasy where you were a young 16-year-old man whose mom and dad hired a hot babysitter to come babysit you, and you had sexual relationships, if you ever fantasized about that, technically that's ephemophilic fantasies, okay? You understand how when you're specific, it can make people go, oh, is that it? But if you're general, be like, it's ephemophilic fantasies. People are like, oh shit, and their imaginations fill in a whole bunch. But yeah, it's all about the framing. It's all about how you present these things. And again, right here, he is going to make a whole stream on, and this is bad enough, right? To make these accusations without actually seeing any specific evidence, right? Any direct evidence, I should say, to make these accusations. But he also calls federal authorities based on this information. But we're going to get to that, right? What's next?
Let's see here now. Well, there's a part 2 to the thing that I don't think you finished.
Oh, there's more? Oh, shit. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's a 2-parter announcement. It's very long. I couldn't fit it all in one screenshot.
Okay. He says, I do want my channel... Sorry about this. We didn't rehearse this beforehand, gang. We're doing it live. Okay. I do want my channel to be about news, current events, geopolitics, history, and the occasional drama. I do not want to become a drama commentary channel. But I also will not ignore that I think is right because it makes my friends, fans, moderators, Discord users, chatters, chippers, or oilers uncomfortable. I would rather lose my income and go back to construction admin than ignore the truth. If you are a friend and can't be my friend anymore, good luck and Godspeed. If you are a Discord member and have to leave, leave. If you're a chatter and can't chat anymore, okay. If you are a chipper or oiler and can't chip or oil anymore, thank you for your previous support. Good luck and Godspeed. The truth hurts. When you ignore it, it will hurt you even worse. Long live the true cog. Emojis. Okay, is that it? Is there more? Did I miss anything?
That should be it. Yeah, for that specific one.
Okay. Sorry again, I missed the part. But whatever.
Let's see here now. Then on the 28th, he does this live stream, and I think the biggest thing about this live stream that happened that he's referencing in this Reddit post is brought up on this.
Are you talking about the devil Brit husband react?
Yes, the devil Brit husband react.
Retract.
Reddit post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Reddit, so I have to.
Yeah, it's a little bit finicky.
Okay, let's listen.
So, I've asserted.
Okay, context here. This is the husband, right? The one that tagged me, the one we're talking about, the one that was like, Destiny's been fucking my wife, blah, or sexting my wife, or whatever, right? This is the guy that's on stream right now.
that Britt engaged, based off of your information, by the way, that Steven and Britt engaged in age role play, step-parent role play, involving your family's children back in the day, like November and last year.
All right. In terms of the age play stuff, like, I mean, that's pretty much out there. Everybody's saying that. That's pretty much. But in terms of the Mr. Girl stuff, if I could talk about anything, I guess. From what I understand, she played up a lot of that because she was like watching Mr. Girl at the time and blah, blah, blah. And when she wrote in, she elaborated a bit, is my understanding and what she's telling me. I don't have any direct knowledge of that stuff. So
what's the what is your understanding? Because obviously we had a conversation in November.
Yeah,
and I
December,
think that you told me something almost identical to what Britt wrote into Mr. Girl. So
right, but she never
where was that coming from?
She never told me like the parts about him or her being turned on by him actually doing it IRL. Like none of that was ever mentioned. It was always just, hey, this is a thing that happened one time. He didn't really want to do it, but I kind of wanted to do it. And we both felt bad about it and didn't do it anymore. That was the story she gave me. But never denied it happening, of course. But that was, like, it wasn't this ongoing thing, supposedly, from what I know. But like I said, I'm just going off. I never saw the logs between them. It was mostly like on Discord, etc., or whatever, her stuff. So I'm 100% just going off what she told me.
Yep. Now, Devil, I'm gonna do something rude. Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right, so, I'm gonna disconnect this call and I'm gonna point something out to chat.
That is the end of the clip, but there is a segment after this where he does disconnect him and he shows a single clip of a text where Devil, the person in question, says, "I will come on, but I'm going to downplay stuff." So just context there, so everyone knows. Not in this clip, but I think that's important context.
I think this is a demonstration of Devil, one, not being there to witness anything. So anything that he's talking about is hearsay. And then two, Devil basically retracting any sort of claims of they were fantasizing about like molesting their own children.
Well,
or the idea of like
it also
molesting their own
demonstrates that this man is willing to just say things. That he's willing to just say things, right?
And
when
if
he gets
something
emotional,
contradicts him,
when
like
he gets
literally one
upset,
of the people that he's referencing, he'll ignore them and he'll just like
he'll just say what is what I would call a very unreliable narrator, right? All the people in this story, to be clear, are pretty unreliable narrators. They have demonstrated that they are willing to just say shit, right? Britt has demonstrated that. She's changed her story on this multiple times. Devil has demonstrated that. He changes his story on it multiple times, sometimes making it worse, sometimes making it less worse. So what is true, what actually happened, without seeing more evidence, I could not say. No one here can. Counterpoints cannot say. Because again, he admits this later, he doesn't have the evidence, right? And we're going to get to that. He admits it directly. To call CPS based on that is immoral and evil. Someone you know is a liar, you know has made shit up, and you believe them when it suits you, and you don't believe them when it contradicts you. That is simply you picking a team. That's not you going through the evidence. That's not you being a moral actor. That's you being mad at Destiny and deciding, I'm going to believe all the most horrible things about him. And sans direct evidence, make a call to a federal agency to do a fishing expedition, to go out and harass these people and take their children away from them, potentially, in order to find that evidence. I don't think people understand how CPS works. So just an aside, okay? If you get a call from or if CPS comes, they will take your child away from you for at least 24 hours. You guys remember Pete Buttigieg? National figure, powerful, connected man, right? CPS got called on him. They took his kid away for a day. And that man, with all his connections, with all his power, with all his money, with all his influence, with all his ability to call up Obama and other politicians directly, right? Couldn't get his kid back for a whole fucking day. What do you think happens to some no-name when they get CPS called on them? What do you think happens? What do you think occurs? Right? What recourse do they have? None. And if you get on the bad side of one of these CPS agents, ooh boy, they can make it a struggle for you for months. Okay? For months. It is kind of horrific in a way. So, CPS exists for a good reason. But when you use CPS as a weapon against your political, ideological, and drama enemies, and based on the most flimsiest evidence you can ever imagine, call them to do a fishing expedition, you are putting their kids in real danger. You are risking months of someone who has done nothing actually wrong to go through court battle after court battle after court battle trying to get their kids back. It is insane. And the trauma to the kids, it is crazy. So, if you are going to call these agencies, you better have strong, convincing reasons to do so. I'm not arguing never to do it. If you're a teacher and you see a kid coming in with bruises in class all the time, okay, maybe. But these two people who continuously have lied to me, who have DM'd various streamers for clout, who have called in to Mr. Girl, right? Or sent an email to Mr. Girl embellishing things for attention, like, oh, I'm going to use their words and the words of someone who caught a glimpse in the corner of their eye of a picture on a phone, and that's going to be the evidence that I use to call. That is insane. No reasonable person who would do that ever. And go ahead and tell this to someone who doesn't know anything about the situation involved, and they will think that these people are evil. The people who are calling in to CPS for that, that's what they will tell you. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know, motherfuckers. Anyway, sorry, rant. What's next?
All right. This is very, very important. Is the screenshot right here? So, 𝙬𝙚 is the owner of the largest political Discord server. It's called Politics, I think, or yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the name of his Discord server. But recently, he has made a private Discord server called 𝙬𝙚's Motel.
It might be,
now,
to be clear, he's had variations of these servers for a while. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like the third version of
there's
𝙬𝙚's Motel.
iterations, but yeah.
Yeah. I didn't take the screenshot. So, 𝙬𝙚, just so you know, there are people in their community that are leaking shit. Better watch what you're saying.
They know. Don't worry.
On the 28th at 11:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 𝙬𝙚 posts a link to Connor's document in his private Discord server.
And to be clear, we're going to go over this document too. I have it up, and we're going to go through it, but we're going to get to it. But anyway, so go ahead.
Yeah. What needs to be emphasized here is this is the 28th. This will be a day before Connor releases it to the general public. So this is demonstrating, at the very least, that 𝙬𝙚 and Connor are communicating behind the scenes, and that there's some level of coordination happening here with gathering evidence. I think, and 𝙬𝙚 refuses to acknowledge this, by the way. He's lied on his Twitter talking about how, Connor made this document all by himself. I didn't have access to this document, yada, 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 yada. It's completely and utterly bullshit. All right.
Doobie?
Moving
Lying?
on.
That's crazy. That's never
Yeah,
happened
who would have
before.
guessed that?
Insane.
That Doobie
right?
would lie.
Yeah,
So-
again, like this is, I think, the fourth or fifth time that Doobie's been caught in a lie about all of this, right? One of the lies that he said was when the My Docs got revealed, he claimed up and down to people privately and publicly that, oh, that's just the PV docs that happened, right? It was just the PV docs. It was not. That got proven to be a lie, right? This is another example where he's just claiming publicly that, oh, I didn't have access to this document. Here he is posting this document before it was ever released to the public. It is crazy. This crazy amount of lies that are being told. But anyway, what's next?
Let's see here now. The next day, May 29th, we call this C Day. This is when Connor uploads, or he drops his nukes against Destiny. He uploads his doc, and then he also uploads the Mr. Girl clip.
Which
to
one are we
his,
watching first?
YouTube channel. We'll watch the Mr. Girl clip first, and then we can go into the
This year, I was involved in
releases.
Okay, let me get it up. Our old friend, Mr. Girl. To be clear, he doesn't like old friends. He likes them young, as I understand, but that's a...
Jesus.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
This year, I was involved in an online affair with a guy for almost a year. My husband wouldn't engage with any of the weird trauma-induced kink stuff that I was curious about, and so I was compelled to impulsively and regretfully engage with this guy online in some pretty intense and taboo age play scenarios, including fantasizing about being step-parents to each other's kids. And obviously it went way too far, but felt really intensely good in the moment. But afterward, I felt sick and cried all night because it obviously felt really bad too. How do you know if the other person also feels the same way or if they would actually do it? My understanding is the best predictors are drug use and low empathy. And even worse, what if you felt like you love them so much that you wouldn't care if they did and you get off on what you would potentially be willing to allow them to get away with? What if the idea is kind of enticing to you in a way, even if you deny it or try to lie to yourself about it? Even if you never act out on something like that yourself, lucky for me, it's over now. If you're saying that you doubt your willingness to hold boundaries in real life, then that is a danger. Yes.
Go ahead.
And then let's go bring up the Connor document.
The Brit document? Okay.
Yeah, the Brit document. Allegedly, Connor made this by himself. Obviously, we have evidence that this was posted in Doobie's Discord server the day before. So
To be clear, I just want to point out that there are people, I don't know if this has been edited since I pulled it up. I see people in there, anonymous people. So, unfortunately, I cannot verify that they haven't been fucking with this as I've been going, right? So you see the anonymous people? I don't know who they are. I just noticed this just now when I pulled it up. How long have they been there? Have they been editing things? Have they been deleting things, pulling things up? Anonymous Frog apparently has editing powers right here. What have they been doing? I don't know. So
I wonder who Anonymous Frog is.
Well, no, to be clear, they just assign you animals, right? Like this.
I know, I'm making a joke. Don't
so I can't verify the integrity of this document anymore, unfortunately. Is what it is.
I do know that this document has been edited after its initial release. I have a copy of the original document when Connor first made it. This one,
yeah, but like
has
edits
been pushed up
that
a little
he
bit
makes
because
himself, right? Is I think fair and fine. Like just a. There's a difference between editing someone like, oh shit, they're looking it up now, we got to edit it, versus, oh, I released it and I'm going to change a few things, right? So I don't know.
Brit was fully doxed in this document when it was initially released. There was a full government name in
yeah, then it's good that they edited that out.
Yeah, thank you, Connor. So this first screenshot you're seeing right here is, I believe, 𝙍𝙚 talking in Destiny's kick chat, saying that he has proof. Let's see here now. We can go look at it. I think you have to read it bottom to top.
Sure. This is on
Basically,
the 11/23/2025, just to let everyone know.
yes.
And yes, it does go up in time, so I'm gonna just read this for you guys. And to be clear, this is what Counterpoints has presented as evidence. This is what he considers substantial enough evidence to contact federal authorities over. So just keep that in mind. For those who don't know, Destiny has been having an affair with a married woman with children. His girlfriend broke up with him and threatened to expose him as a pedo. She was sending him pics of her kids. I have proof. It was my wife. We're split up now. That's why blank, or whatever her name is, left him. They were doing weird age play stuff, and she sent him pics of my kids. No, BH. She's been in here. Brit. My wife went to her mother's yesterday. She's probably talking to her right now. I hope he effing kills himself, but he's a narcissistic freak, so I doubt it. Delete the pictures of my children off your computer, you sick freak. Delete solicit pictures of children from mentally ill housewives he manipulates and I have proof. Acknowledge me, freak. Pedo cult. You should try. Nobody loves you, blah, blah, blah. So, again, just some context for people. This guy's just been cheated on. He's crashing out. And, understandable in such a way. But, when you're talking to someone who has a family and you're trying to have a romantic or intimate relationship with them, they will often send you pictures of their life, right? Whether it be their dogs, their kids, their families, right? Their mom and dad. That does not mean that you are trying to fuck those people or those dogs or those kitties or whatever they're sending to you. So the fact that she sent him pictures of her kids is not evidence of them doing weird sexual shit with those kids. Does that make sense? Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you, Wick.
I'm just letting people know, because I don't think a lot of people don't touch grass here or have actual relationships outside of the online space. I'm just telling you how it is, okay? November 23rd. This is 𝙍𝙚, apparently. Hey, you don't know me, but I'm Brit's ex-husband, the woman that was sending pictures of my children to Destiny doing the weird age play stuff. I'm about to be going through a messy divorce over this, and I'd really appreciate it if you could give me anything that might help. I understand if you don't want to involve yourself, but she told me blank. Thanks, Jeremy, apparently. Is that public info? I don't know. Fuck.
I don't know. This is what Connor released publicly, so.
Well, hopefully it's not. Sorry, 𝙍𝙚, if it is. Damn. I didn't catch that till just now. This is from 𝙍𝙚
I don't know if
as
you want
well.
to go through all this or not. If you want to be overly thorough, I can give a brief summary of everything.
Yeah, give a brief summary, but
in here.
also post a link in my Discord to this so people can look. And remember, people have been people with edit access have been doing
the Gen chat,
and so we don't know, right? But yeah, there's a few allegations, but I do want to kind of at least summarize this because I think it's important so people know what the evidence is. Again, there's texts where basically she said they sexted on Snapchat and would do roleplay stuff that involved them as the step-parents and my daughters and his sons, like pedo shit. She also said she was sexting him while he was on the bus with so-and-so for that field trip, and he was saying shit like talking about how a few of the little girls on the trip were hot and he wished they'd come to his room, etc., etc. Shit like that. I have her recorded on my phone talking about the Snapchat sexting pedo shit. Has he released those recordings? Do we have those?
No.
Okay. Yeah, see, this is a thing. When someone's going through a divorce like this and they want to hurt the other person, they will make shit up. And again, this person demonstrated he's willing to just make shit up and say things based on his feelings at the time. So very unreliable narrator. I will say, as a content creator, I get DMs all the time saying, so-and-so did this, right? They're a pedo. They're a horrible person. They did this. I saw it. And when you look into it, no, they didn't. No, it wasn't. They're just stirring shit, or they are mad and they're trying to make shit up. People make shit up, like Lav, right? You guys remember Lav? Okay. One of my mods got accused by Lav. They were in a private, I guess, call backstage or something, waiting to get on my stream. And she was like, I'm going to say to everyone that you molested me. And she just said that, right? That she was going to do that. Like, people do this in this space, unfortunately, right? They'll just make things up and they will say things. Crazy. But yeah, this isn't new. And people using this as like fucking evidence are crazy to do so. And Counterpoints should know better. He's a creator. Anyway, but it goes on like that. Here's Brit substacking, liking a Mr. Girl call-in.
And by the way, I think there should be an emphasis here. This is all happening after the fact. There are no logs showing this happening, like of Destiny or of Brit in the moment talking about doing this or actually doing this.
Yes, it's all hearsay, remembering things from long ago and other things. Because here, this is Brit saying, it's because I'm aware of why guys are attracted to me. It's because I'm really tiny and petite and look young and have a feminine and submissive personality on first glance anyways. And they exploit that, so I just subconsciously flip it around on them and do the same thing to them. It's kind of exploitative and not a good thing to do, and it makes me feel like I'm in control in a weird way instead the other way around. This is Counterpoints having a conversation with her. I'm like 98% positive that he's into it for some kind of similar psychological reasons. It's based on trauma, attachment, and control. Is that where he got the idea, maybe? I don't think that he's got an attraction issue either, but I'm not a mind reader or a doctor. But like, this is all just speculation. It's all just, I think he's doing it because of this. But again, none of this is direct. This is on, actually, that's fine. This is after, right? Or maybe during, when they got exposed or whatever. Or when Counterpoints dragged them all into this. She says this, I feel super comfortable and safe and secure in the relationship that I have with him, even when he needs to separate and regulate, and I know that it won't last forever. And we literally only age played one time, and I initiated it, and he didn't want to do it anymore. That's why I've told you every time, and you used it against him, and now people will think that's all we were doing, and that's so far from the truth. I don't really care what people think about me, but he has people wanting to kill him over those accusations. My ex was just one person. There's no way to know who all of these people in that Telegram group and what communities they were from, and I don't really think it matters what community they're from. I feel like that's a bigger issue than sexual stuff. Again, here's her saying that Counterpoints is getting it wrong. Counterpoints is misrepresenting what's happening. What's happening is being lied about. And again, I don't know if that's true because none of these people are reliable narrators. And it goes on that this is kind of the level of evidence we're talking about. So 1 week, me and Steven were talking about sexual stuff and feet and mild dom sub stuff and nothing crazy or super problematic. Then we had 2 weeks of just normal conversation about normal stuff. And then I was babysitting and sent pics of me and my niece because I had baby fever and she's a cute baby with cute baby feet. Like I didn't post them, but I sent them to the parents and my friends, and the parents are my family and don't care who I show them to. And someone got screenshots somehow and tried to make it look out of context, like we were talking about that. And then I sent them, and it just freaked me out that someone could be so sick about something so normal. And I'll never fucking send a pic of any kid to anyone ever. Oh, and right after I sent that picture, I said I have such a breeding kink, which made it look worse, but that didn't have anything to do with the kid, bro. I was making a joke about him knocking me up because we're always joking about that. And you see how this has been, again, according to Brit, misrepresented, taking out of context. A single screenshot turned and narrativized. And remember, Counterpoints has demonstrated he's willing to do that, right? He's willing to just go with things and say, well, I don't know for sure. I think he got molested, or he got molested as a kid. Oh, is that true? I don't know. Probably. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like, that's the kind of thing that Counterpoints has been doing this whole entire time. I don't know.
He'll get into that on the Darius live stream as well.
Yeah. But you can go through this on your own. We'll provide access, and you can make your own decisions. But yes.
I just want to, you don't have to pull the document back up. I was just saying at the end. At the very end, we show there's Devil talking to Connor about retracting his statement as well. So.
Insane. Insane.
So yeah, we on the 29th, you can see the screenshot. There's going to be a series of screenshots here.
And I see you, chat. I see all of you snarkers trying to paint the narrative, trying to frame this in a dishonest way. We see you. We know what you're doing, right? You can't fool us. You're trying to pretend that all of this is the most evil thing imaginable, and this is the weakest evidence you've ever seen in your life. And again, people don't have to take my word for it, and that's the difference between us and you. I am sourcing all my things with evidence, with screenshots, with clips, and I will provide that evidence to you to access on your own, which you will invariably take out of context, invariably cut off certain portions of it, invariably manipulate it in various ways. But look, that's the difference between me and you. I'm honest and you are not. And again, I just wanted to, I know we're skipping ahead a little bit here, but I think it's important to point out, like, these people, these snarkers, have hope, like, on public, on Twitter. I'll pull it up. Let me get it up. I tweet a lot. Hold on. Here's a screenshot of one of the snarker community people, because they were trying to paint out what 𝙇𝙞𝙗 said, that he was threatening to kill someone when he made that statement about probably someone's going to die. No, he was talking about us. He's talking about someone is probably going to kill one of us. And I don't know if he's wrong. He says, and this is the tweet I say, probably me or one of the people around me. Y'all have doxed and harassed. The escalation you have all engaged in and promoted and defended is insane. And yes, you are all crazy enough to actually hurt one of us. And this snarker, cross your fingers, buddy. Publicly hoping for my death or injury, right? And this is not uncommon in this space. Not uncommon for them to do. They will do so on main. And again, the snark community, the Kiwi farm communities, Hassan communities, they all engage in this behavior constantly, all the time. But if I ever mention anything, like even as a joke, right, they're going to go after me and paint me as the worst probably person. But they all do it themselves. They all engage in far worse behavior than even at my worst moments that I have engaged in. And it's frustrating as fuck. So no, all of you snarkers, go fuck yourselves. Seriously, fuck yourselves. That's all. Anyway, what's the next?
It's a series of screenshots. We're going to get through a couple pages with this.
Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so the importance of this one is the date. Remember,
yes,
𝙬𝙚𝙚, not 𝙇𝙞𝙗. 𝙬𝙚𝙚 posted this the day before, and here is Counterpoints posting it the day after, publicly for the first time. Here you go, cunts. And he posts that evidence that we just went over.
So when Connor drops this document, let's just say that his community is not taking this lightly. There are people, and they know who they are, who do follow Connor with this drama. But there is also a significant portion of his community who are very good. They, I'm not going to say their names. They don't want to make them feel any more alienated from the COG than they might be right now. But this night, me and the rest of the COG are basically going to be arguing with Connor about this drama and the evidence provided, and he's gonna give his reasoning for why this is sufficient.
Okay, so he says here, they need the smoking gun the way I need it for the snarkers. This guy says the logs, solid evidence. That's is into what they would need to believe this. Dionysus says, you need the actual sexting. Counterpoint says, yeah, Brit ain't giving me that shit, ninja. Dennis says, Lamau. And Lukaku says, I don't think she will either. Counterpoint says, go ask Brit and Destiny for them. And again, he hasn't seen any of this. I can't emphasize this enough. He hasn't seen one bit of this himself. Not a single thing.
Nope. No evidence.
Counterpoint says, same level as 𝙇𝙞𝙗. 𝙇𝙞𝙗 hasn't provided any evidence yet. I'm not sure what he's referring to here, but fair. Real Serious says, so it's an impasse. Leave the friendship at that point if it's too much for you. Boom. We are all behind you. Counterpoints, I did leave the friendship. And again, I want to be clear. If that's all he had done, and he was like, you know what? This looks bad enough that I personally think I can't be your friend anymore. And then they privately ended the friendship. Okay, that's his decision. I don't think there's anything necessarily even immoral about that, right? Okay, fair. Yeah, you can end a friendship. It's the way he did it, the publicity of it, the accusations made publicly, the dragging in of civilians to back up his arguments, right? The outing of personal information, many of which is incorrect, right? And again, the cherry on top, the peak of this, the most worst thing possible, calling federal agencies over this weak ass shit. North, this is to you. He says, the girl who communicated with DM'd me and emailed Mr. Girl with a story consistent with that of her ex-husband. A close friend of Steven saw Steven's side of things and saw that Britt had sent him pictures of children's feet. Again, the person involved sent me the pictures that they sent. I don't know if they're the actual pictures they sent. And it's just kids on a beach by a river or something. It's not some weird sex shit. Okay? You can believe me or not, but that's what it is. It's just pictures, like normal family outing pictures that anyone would send to anyone that they're having a relationship with. It's wild, right? Like, I don't know. My family sends me pictures of my nieces and nephews. We aren't doing anything weird with them. It's just pictures of my nieces and nephews at like Disneyland or something. There's nothing wrong with that. And if I was dating someone and they had a kid and they sent me pictures of their kid at Disneyland, I wouldn't think anything wrong with that. There would be nothing wrong with that. It's a very normal thing to do. I don't know. It's crazy how much the snarker narratives in this environment of poison that they have pumped in to every inch of this space, right, has colored just normal interactions to be the most nefarious possible. I don't know. Any other thoughts?
What's funny is Connor has done the same thing. In the Darius live stream, I don't have a specific clip of it, and I will not have enough time in this live stream to go searching for it. But he mentions that he also sent 𝙇𝙞𝙗 pictures of his newborn child.
It's a normal friend thing to do.
Yes, exactly. He's engaged in this as well, and he should.
When people have had kids that are in my community, they send pictures and say, "Hey, look, this is my kid." Right? They're proud of it. I don't know. It's wild. Counterpoints in here says her Discord links to her Substack, which was liking the Mr. Girl email. The email matches her Discord narrative. First of all, it does not. Anonymous chatter says, all good, homie. Many shots are being fired. I don't know what that's to. Counterpoint says, devil is seen admitting to fucking me to save his own ass from law enforcement. And again, what he's referring to here is the statement. And again, we don't see the context of the statement. We just see the single screenshot of a single chat where Devil says, just to let you know, if I come on, I'm going to downplay this. Now, that doesn't look great, but it doesn't necessarily make what he's saying incorrect or wrong or a lie, right? Especially if he feels that he overplayed it earlier. If I overplayed it before, I'm going to downplay it now so it's more accurate, right? It's again, it's so loose. And these people are so unreliable as narrators that you can't take them at their word. And to use their word as evidence is just insane.
That should be emphasized upon. These people have changed their stories multiple times over a course of time. This is not a single straight narrative that has not been changed. These people keep changing up little details. And if you have an unreliable witness and that is the only evidence that you have, then maybe you shouldn't be just relying off that witness. Maybe you need some sort of like evidence adjacent that you can point to. But of course, Connor doesn't have any of that. All he has is the Brit allegations. So.
Okay, you say, is this standard of evidence we're allowing for this egregious claim? And then you got a couple emojis saying 100%. Dionysus says, I was right when I said the legal shit. Who would have thought? And Counterpoint says, this is not a court of law. And fair enough, but then you call the law, Counterpoints. You call the law. Yes, you're correct. You don't need the court standard of evidence in a Discord if you're just mouthing off. Now, again, you've made a serious claim, and I think even just for Discord chatter, that's so egregious a claim that if you're going to make that, you need to back it up with strong evidence, and the evidence that you present is very not strong. It's very weak. It's very unreliable. And then when you say this is not a court of law, no, but you're calling law enforcement. I don't know. Okay. That's that. What's next?
Let's see here now. So on May 31st, I don't have any specific clips for this because this whole live stream is just complete AIDS. You can pull it up if you want. It's Connor goes on a live stream with Lav and Mr. Girl to basically talk about Destiny.
That's insane. First of all, Mr. Girl and Lav to talk about Destiny. Like, if you want to make it seem that you are an actor that is acting independently of these snark communities, what you don't do is go on to some of the OG snarkers, of some of the OG haters, and go on their stream to discuss the thing you just did, right? And I believe in that stream, even Lav and Mr. Girl are saying, hold up, what you did was immoral and wrong because you didn't have enough evidence. Mr. Girl, the guy who got the email, is saying that that's not enough evidence to do what you did. I believe that's true. Am I incorrect in that summary?
I believe that is true as well, but I'm going off memory here, and I don't have a specific clip to pull up. Another thing I remember off this live stream is that Lav and Mr. Girl have like a narrative around Destiny that he brings on BPD e-girls, he fucks them, he has e-sex with them or whatever, trades nudes with them, and then he will weaponize his audience against them after they inevitably crash out, and he gets sexual pleasure off the idea of doing this. And they talk about that in this live stream, and Connor will proceed in the future to push that narrative, that Mr. Girl narrative. Yeah, it's completely ridiculous.
Okay. Alley Cattail says, I don't think you listened to the full Mr. Girl email clip from the Substack. I listened to the Mr. Girl email clip that he posted, Counterpoints posted, and posted as evidence. That's what I don't know what else you want me to do here, but we're gonna move on. So June 7th, Snarkers are quarantined.
Yep. I don't know if you're gonna.
I'll bring that. Yeah. So this is on June 7th, gang. So 7 days, a week later, a little more than a week. At everyone, per instruction by our chapter master, we are quarantining all snark and obsessive compulsive shit talking in general antisocial behavior to one channel. Retards are us. People marked sus will be restricted here. General chapter members will have access to this channel to interact with snarkers and conversationally challenged people here with impunity. Keep the rest of the server grilling as you were. If you dispute your status as sus, please ensure you do the following. Introduce yourself. Tag a chapter member to vouch for you in servitor processing. Make your case for deep access to the cog. Good faith is rewarded with good faith. To the faithful, the grill returneth what is given. Heat for heat, faith for faith. A bunch of emojis. Funny times. Okay.
Yeah, so this is basically demonstrating that, you know, it's not all 100% allowing snarkers into the community. They are getting quarantined to a degree. I think 𝙬𝙬, Officer McNasty, and I think one other person got sent there as well. And then after the Darius live stream, I also got sent to this channel, and I was not allowed to interact with the rest of the community.
Counterpoints and the 8th. What is this?
The 8th is when Connor reports 𝙬𝙤 to law enforcement. So this screenshot right here is when he publicly announces on his Discord server that he is creating a police report to submit to the Miami PD and CPS against Britt and Connor.
Destiny, you mean?
Sorry, Britt and Destiny. Sorry, Jesus.
Okay, you DM Connor about this. Do you want to show this on screen, or should I click off?
Yeah. This is meant to be shown on screen, so don't worry. So I privately reached out to Connor about this. I'm like, hey, dude, this is kind of unhinged. Is everything all right? And then, yeah, he's reported that to law enforcement and CPS.
Just reporting the Destiny stuff to law enforcement and CPS. I do a horrible accents, okay? So this is my counterpoints voice, okay? Yep, just reporting the Destiny stuff to law enforcement and CPS. F slur. Anyway, sorry, no, it's a joke, but...
Amazing recreation, Wick.
Nora says, Jesus Christ. Counterpoint says, well, as you pointed out, I don't have sufficient evidence, nor do I have the power of a warrant. So I'm going to give it to people who do, and they can do with it what they think is best. Pause. I don't know if I can highlight it. I can't. Unfortunately, it's a screenshot. I want to make this very, very clear. This, on the 8th, is Counterpoints admitting that he does not have enough evidence. His evidence is insufficient. But because he can't just go on a fishing expedition himself, he's going to get the federal agencies to do a fishing expedition for him. Because he does not have evidence. So instead of just being like, damn, I don't have enough evidence, so I'm going to make private decisions for my own private self and cut myself off of this community, he's going a step further and say, I'm going to send these federal agencies on a fishing expedition to see what they can find, because, again, I don't have sufficient evidence to really do much more with it. That is a crazy thing to admit. Crazy. That's insane.
Yep, crazy. And he will verbally affirm this later. Don't worry. We'll get into that.
Before we go, I gotta make a little money.
Yeah.
I gotta make a little money. Let's go over some of these super chats. Okay. Owlishness for $5. Oh, that's where I stopped. Sorry. Hanaz Ubi for 1829 for $10 says, I will forever blame Destiny for the idiot, descriptive, prescriptive argument Connor is stupidly trying to make. Fair and based. $5 from you, Nork. I know this is kind of slow stream, but I'm vibing it. As also, long live the cog. Making mistakes, forgiveness to all, being better people, and fuck snarkers. Thank you. Allybots for $5 says, Wick says he's not into H-Play, but he's my YouTube daddy. My God, Tallybots, don't, okay, whatever. Thank you for the $5. This is going to be another rumor that they're going to spread, and I don't know if I need that shit right now. $10 from Fellrunner. I understand the anger and judgment. However, I'm hoping to hear more wisdom and grace on what you both want to see from all of our communities. Or is this just Connor is evil TED Talk? We're going to get to that. But again, like I said before, we have to build. And I'm, again, building the case that what Connor has done is evil. We could talk about next steps later, and we will. But I wanted to build that case first so you all understand my issues that I have with what he did and why I think what he did was wrong. Because if you don't believe what he did was wrong, we have bigger issues to deal with, right? And we're also going to talk about the larger context in which this happened, but we're going to get to that. It's a long stream. I know. Buckle in, boys. We got a long night. And I'm going to bring callers in soon. Don't worry. I know this is long, but we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. I promise. Okale for 6-month membership. Connor Lives Matter. Fair enough. Basic Dude for 20. Crazy people making fall.
Wick. Stop reading. There is a message in your chat right now that is posting a dox when that needs to be removed.
Where am I looking at?
It's the super chat.
I'm not seeing it.
It's by.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I time him out here? Okay, I think I did it. Sorry. I didn't see that, gang. This is, again, my setup. Thank you for letting me know. I did remove it. I did get rid of it.
Thank Alish. She DM'd me.
Thank you, Alish. Okay. $20 from Basic Dude. Crazy people making false accusations ruins not only the accused's life, but also the kids. These people don't care about the truth, only their personal agenda. Thanks for calling it out. Well, yeah, that's the evil part of it, right? Like when you make these allegations without evidence, it creates real issues, real problems. $5 from Any Name is Fine. No offense, but you have no idea what you're talking about regarding CPS and the weight of an unfounded claim. Source, I'm a cop. Source, what do you mean? I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. What about what I said was incorrect or wrong? You're a cop? Are you? I don't know. But thank you for the $5, random stranger. Yeah, you got to make an argument. What did I say that was wrong? What did I say that was incorrect? These are real issues. And my evidence is it happened to Pete Buttigieg, and he went through it, and he documented it, and we can all see that. And that, again, crazily enough, backs up everything I've said. He was kept from his child for 24 hours. And he, a man with huge connections, national influence, prestige, power, money, still wasn't able to get his kid back after 24 hours. Or it took 24 hours to get his kid back. And here you are, spouting off. Thanks, random chatter. Appreciate the $5. But what did I say that was incorrect or wrong? Riz What the Fuck says, £5. Destiny and Connor breaking up has broken my heart. Who's next? Dan and Moot, Pisco and Hutch, Mike for PA and his couch. Sad face. Real Serious says, I remember in the doc, Connor included an alleged FBI agent's full personal cell phone number. And when I told him, yo, might want to censor that, his reply was, oh no, I doxed the FBI's number, boo-hoo. I don't know anything about that, but thank you for the money. $5 from Bangarang says, didn't Devil and Britt both apologize to Destiny for all of this Connor mess? I don't know. I can't speak to that. $5 from Veggie Boy. To the snarkers in chat, I'm sorry that what Destiny's wife did not want to do things with you even though they were in an open relationship. Look inward. $5 from Hedonic Samuel. Remembering all these moments based on what I was chopping or cooking at the time is surreal. Real Serious again. Wick. Maybe I am wrong, but I think the doc may not have been manipulated. Connor shared a link in his Discord a while back. That's why I think you're seeing people looking at it now. I'm in it now. I mean, maybe. I can't verify it. Does that make sense? Hedonic Samuel for $2 these are the days of our lives. Bella Beans for $5 is heart emoji. Per Thompson, $10 says love the story hour. Well, thank you. And Usurp the Chief, thank you for the membership.
Yeah.
But
so wait, hold on. Context behind this. Okay, so context: me and Connor are on a panel together, and this is him admitting basically that he's watching Gisticle in his free time.
was so funny about I was committing the sin of watching Snarkers the other day. So I was watching a Snarker creator named J-Stock, and he was laughing at the struggle session between IRI and Hutch, because he was like, Hutch, you just have to accept it. Even if Plattner raped 100 women, you have to vote blue no matter who. And there was like kind of this, I forget if it was in the commentary or if it was in the debate itself, but there was basically like a conversation of like, how many rapes is too many rapes for Graham Plattner? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 10?
That's
is it 100?
Yeah. Basically, this is demonstrating that Connor is not distancing himself from the Stalkers and continues to not just like communicate them, but he's like watching their content, which is wild. Here we are. June 20th. There's only one specific clip that's important for the June 20th thing. Me and Fellrunner go onto Connor's live stream.
Should I bring it up or no?
And bring up the clip.
Which one's the clip?
The one that says Doobie admits.
Okay.
Yeah, this was
Okay.
Me and Fellrunner, who is Connor's head mod, confront Doobie on Connor's live stream, in which we're trying to figure out his history and him with like being CSAM Batman and him moderating his politics server and like allowing minors in there and allowing people to solicit nudes from like random people in his Discord server. There's a whole variety of topics. After Connor ends that stream, me, Doobie, and a couple other people join Connor's VC, and then I record that conversation with his consent, in which we get into some of the more nitty-gritty stuff about CSAM. And this clip is the most indictable on the character of Doobie, which is relevant to what's going to be popping up in the future.
Let's watch.
So,
or listen, as the case may be.
Maybe 6-7 years ago. About 6-7 years ago. Right? So this 12-year wasn't in my server. They were in like a side server that someone else had. And we found out that like 4 or 5 guys in the side server were targeting this kid. Right? And I found out because this kid was messaging me, and she seemed very like cagey. And I would never respond to her DMs, but she would just kind of lurk in the voice channels like quietly. And one day she sent me a message like, it was something like just implying that someone was talking to her inappropriately. So I asked her, right? And I got to talking to her, and she told me what was happening with one of the guys. And I explained to her that she needs to talk to her, she needs to go to her parents, and yada yada yada. And she would not, right? So in that case, eventually, I convinced her to get off Discord and to hand over the account to me, to delete all the CSAM that she had in there if she'd sent anything, and then give me the login information of the account, and myself and like 3 other guys who are still around, so I still know. We went through the account and all of her DMs with people, and we tracked on every adult that she was communicating with inappropriately and was grooming her, and we reported them all individually to the police. And in that case, she actually didn't delete all of the CSAM that she had in her DMs with these people.
Did you download
in that case,
that?
Unfortunately, I didn't download it. I screenshotted it.
That
I screenshotted all the
like,
DMs.
you saved it on your computer. That's what we mean by
if you want to say
Yeah. So Doobie in this admits that he solicited a girl who was not in his Discord server, who was 12 years old, and with 3 other people convinced her to hand over her account, which there was child porn on there, and he screenshotted that. That is, yes.
That's insane.
Yes. Yeah, Doobie is quite the character. Now, with this in mind, Connor in the future is going to disregard or he's just going to disregard this as him doing like the right thing. I personally don't think so. He was breaking the law, even if like I don't know if Doobie's a pedophile. I've never seen any evidence of Doobie saying that he's doing this to gratify himself, but or I don't know what the
That's
proper term to
insane.
use
It's
here.
insanely reckless, negligent, and that's not how you handle these situations whatsoever.
And illegal. It is illegal. You are
Yes.
not allowed to just like the screenshot child porn on your device in order to report it to the FBI. That's just not how that works. So yeah, this is important because Connor will ignore.
And didn't he say that
his
him and
behavior.
a few other guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. And I want to make sure I heard it correctly. He allowed access to a few other guys to have access.
3
to that
other
account,
guys.
correct?
Yes.
Who knows what they did with that?
No one knows.
That is again reckless, negligent, not something you do. Who are these 3 other guys?
No one. I don't know. I'm sure Doobie knows, but I don't know if he's gonna release those names. He's a slippery little fuck. So, and yeah, it's fucked. I don't know why you are going around looking for 12-year-olds to screenshot their child porn.
I don't know. I don't know, but like just from that clip, that sounds so insanely gross. Again, I don't think he's doing it for personal gratification reasons or whatever. But again, the negligence of it, like, oh, me and the boys got access to 12-year-old's Discord, and we found the CSAM that she had in it, and I personally screenshotted it, right? What the boys did, I don't know. But you know, I saved it to my computer, and that's a crazy thing to say. Did he not realize when he was saying this out loud what a crazy thing that was to just do? I don't know. I like.
And
he
says that he stands by
I don't
anything
get it.
that
I don't
he's
get it. I don't
said
understand.
with here. So, and he doesn't regret his actions at all. So it's this is the type of person that Connor is defending.
What again? What? I just need more information. I don't know. That's a crazy thing to do. This is why
Yeah.
you don't. This vigilantism shit. Don't engage in it. Yeah. Okay. What else?
Let's see here now. Continue on
We're not
the
going to do the
timeline.
Darius
So-
IRL things. That'll get my channel taken.
Well,
You can reference them, but we
Wait.
won't show the clips. But it'll be in the
Oh, wait,
document if
wait.
you guys want to see it. Right?
wait. Well, the sections that I have, there's no slurs in them.
Okay. Are you
There's
sure?
one that's close to a slur. I went through this. I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
nervous.
I know one of them. One of them is close. It's the.
I already had to take
the
the stream down
435-51.
once. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little too much. Here again.
Yeah.
just summarize it for us, and people can later look and watch. But again, we have textual evidence because the main thing here, and I'll just read the timestamps. At 4 hours and 19 minutes, Connor admits he doesn't have enough evidence. That's a powerful admission. 4:35, Destiny reveals Doobie was talking to Britt. Connor says a slur when Destiny leaves. See, this is why. Like, I would not. I would.
Yes.
I would mess it up.
I
okay?
was gonna give you a warning.
Yeah.
Give you a close-up.
4:37 says Connor reveals he didn't have the Mr. Girl email until May, and the initial evidence in November.
I think that's important because I think that I do think this is a conspiracy theory. I have no evidence of this, that the Snarkers were working in the background to like push this information. And it's very coincidental that this all sort of like blew up in May. Anyway, continue.
Connor reveals he's been talking in private with JStalk over the Brit allegations. And then Connor concedes and calls Doobie a pedophile. Okay, I don't know about that one, but again, when you're having these conversations, their goal is to influence you. Their goal is to fill in the gaps. Their goal is to be broad when it suits them and specific when it suits them as well, right? And they will switch between the two. They will make broad, sweeping allegations, and when you ask for specifics, they say, why are you even wanting to care about the specifics? When they make very specific allegations and you ask for a broader context, they'll be like, bro, why are you trying to dodge off of this specific point that we're trying to get onto? It's a tactic. But the important point is that these people are constantly, and they've admitted to this, this is the total destiny death thing. It's a coordinated effort by multiple streamers and communities in order to total destiny death. Destroy him from the internet, right? Destroy his life, to ruin him. That is their stated goal. So when you're listening to them, when you're getting your information from them, just, again, remember that that's what they're trying to do. Okay, what's the next bit?
We got 2 screenshots here. So after the Darius debacle, Connor makes the decision to allow 𝙬𝙗𝙗 and Officer McNasty, who is another Snarker, to
I know Officer McNasty. He's my reply guy, is what he is. So.
He's a little bit unhinged and obsessed.
Yes. So Undercover says, is it crazy to ask for proof that someone is following up on illegal behavior in a space they run? 𝙬𝙗𝙗 says, nah. Same guy says, even if you aren't providing evidence because of your own safety, it just demonstrates that you're not fit for that position. 𝙬𝙗𝙗 says, nah, this is silly. Counterpoints to Valorfax says, this is my ruling. 𝙬𝙗𝙗 and Officer Nasty and Snarkers are antagonistic to the Coggers who were here first. We should rename a text and VC to Snark Sarge segregation or something similar, and have a voice and text segment. No offense, 𝙬𝙗𝙗 and Officer Nasty, but the community hatred of you is disrupted to divide the community, so Snarkers are relegated to that space and Coggers can interact with them on a volunteer basis. If they don't want to interact with them, then they shouldn't interact with the VC or text channel and go hang out in the rest of the Discord. If they do choose to engage, kids and family are off limits. If you want to criticize someone's behavior relation to relationships, then be tactful. 𝙬𝙗𝙗 says, I think it's reasonable to want evidence, but I think it's also reasonable to turn down the request if it puts my family at risk. That's that.
Now, if you look at the next screenshot, the same day, Connor joins 𝙬𝙗𝙗's private Discord server.
Counterpoints just showed up.
Yeah, we see Connor. And you can't bring up the clip, but I think he concedes to the fact that 𝙬𝙗𝙗 is a pedophile. You might disagree with that characterization. And then he proceeds to allow 𝙬𝙗𝙗 to remain in his community and then joins the private Discord server, which is wild. Like, he learned the information of the 12-year-old and the sharing to 3 other people and the downloading it on his computer thing. He learned all that on the Darius live stream. And then after he got a good night's sleep, he woke up and he's like, you know what? I'm going to go join 𝙬𝙗𝙗's Discord server after that. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
That's wild. Okay, what's next?
Okay, let's see here now. It's a Reddit post of basically Connor trying to talk about. This is from June 25th, I believe. The stream was taken down, so I sadly can't find any clips. But it's Connor.
Okay, this looks like just a picture, but
yeah, it's a picture of Connor trying to figure out who to associate with, and I think he's comparing. I don't know what the exact comparison is with like Hitler and the French resistance fighters. This is, I don't know. It's a whole thing. Connor's mind.
The green checks are the positives. Like Hitler, this guy is blue. Green check. Firebombing Dresden is kind of fucked up. Green check. Let's exterminate the Jewish population of Europe. Red X. Okay. Connor bravely comes out against exterminating the Jewish population of Europe. I'm surprised 𝙬𝙗𝙗 remained his community after that, but fair enough. French resistance fighters say the sky is red. X. Nazi Germany are bad people. Green check. We shouldn't exterminate the Jewish population of Europe. Also green check. Okay, I see what he's doing now. Okay, I get it. Like he's saying these are the things that these people say. These are the true things. These are the false things, right? And so he's comparing these. So the snarkers say Destiny is a sexually reckless person who has hurt people and continues to hurt people. Green check. Destiny is a pedophile. Red X. Destiny deserves to be dead in a ditch. Also a red X. Then we change up the scheme. DGG anti-snarkers. J-Stalk dating Cherry and institutionalizing her is weird and fucked up. It's got a green and a red X, and I don't know.
Which I'm assuming that means that's like he agrees and disagrees with it. Again, I can't pull up the VOD for this stream has been taken down, so I was unable to figure out.
We're doing some interpretive work here, gang. So keep that in mind. That's what okay. Counterpoints. If you watch this, if you take nothing else from this stream, get a better legend for your weird posts. Okay, just so we can understand the context here. Okay, that's my message to you. If you take nothing else away from this, make that change, please. Doobie is a Machiavellian and potentially nefarious character who plays people. Green check. So he agrees with that? Okay. Queeman and Morale are antisocial, abrasive, overcritical freaks. Also green check. Also, Morale solicited a 17-year-old for nudes. And we went over that earlier. Aiden defended that, by the way. But I just want to put that out there. So just keep that in mind. Therefore, we should be able to dox them in the hopes that they get swatted, harassed off the internet. Red check. He disagrees with doxing and swatting, gang. Brave stance. Okay.
But it seems that he's willing to engage with people who do engage in doxing and swatting. And actually, I would argue that the CPS thing is probably considered like a form of swatting.
It's not swatting because it's different dangers, right? Like swatting, I would consider attempted murder, right? Because you're calling people and you're telling them that someone is in direct danger. They need to come now, and they need to come armed, and they need to go in guns a-blazing, basically. This puts the person who's being swatted at immense amounts of physical risk. Heaven forbid there's a miscommunication and something goes entirely wrong. Yeah, it's really bad. Okay. What's next?
I think we're closing in on the end here.
Oh yeah, we have reached. This is just us tweeting about what happened.
Yeah, us tweeting about this very live stream.
Yes.
And Connor crashing
we can
out
skip that part in the interest of
in the
time.
comments.
But okay.
And then I think that's it.
I gotta check my super chats again. Hold on. God damn it. You know, I don't know what you think you're gonna do with this, but every time I see you, I'm going to ban you. I'm going to remove you and I'm going to ban you. And if I can report you, I will. Moderators, take down the name, send the reports in, do what you need to do, get this guy out. Get this guy out. Do whatever you need to do.
Is it the same person?
It's a different screen name, right? Because
well, different. I mean, doing the same thing is what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I have a sneaking suspicion that this is what do you call it? An op where they try to release that information in order to make the other side look sympathetic. That's what I'm.
It's a false flag, maybe. I have no idea. I have no evidence, and it would be irresponsible for me to say either way. So I don't know, but. Whoever is doing it, whoever the fuck you are, we're going to ban you and we're going to get you out. And every time you do it, no matter how many accounts you make, we're going to keep doing it. Okay? We're going to keep doing that.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I'm going to get into other super chats, if there's any.
Yes, and then I'm going to bring in callers to have their say. And
then we'll get into part 2.
Yeah, and like Scoopy Doober says, it might be an attempt to take down the stream. That's very possible. I don't know. Fucking annoying. Okay. Any name is fine. Says I agree this is bad to do and you should never be done, but I can help clarify the severity if you need. Again, we're going to have call-ins in a second. $2 from Senator from West Fadge. Says I can't believe Connor was a cop. You'd be surprised. $10 from Senior Mentos. I just want to throw a couple bucks your way to spite the person who nuked the stream. Well, thank you for that. I do appreciate that. I don't know how to handle this. $5 from V Basura says Doobie CSAM handling should place him behind bars. JDZ sends me 5 WhickTV gift memberships. And Dat Reshi guy says, nah, Doobie's 100% doing it for personal gratification. It's just a matter of the high of being CSAM Batman, is it? Or something more insidious? Or, you know what? There is a third possibility, gang, that he could have just made that story up to make him seem virtuous. That's a lot of people do that kind of shit. They will just make stories up that make them look good, or they think makes them look good, and they will just make shit up. I've known a lot of people who will just do that, who will tell stories about, bro, there was this one time I surfed this 30-foot wave in Maui, right, off the coast of Maui, and no, that motherfucker's never surfed in his life, and you know he's never surfed in his life, and because you know the guy, and he's lived in Pennsylvania his entire fucking life, and you're like, you're just making shit up to sound good, and people do that all the time. It's Fishy says, it makes me sad that Wick mod Parallax defends Doobie and claims he's not a snarker. Thank you for $5. Take that up with Parallax. I'm not getting in your personal beef.